Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over the Kraken DR IDR using ICT Concepts. It's the weekly review on the 5-minute chart for October 2nd through October 6th. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up the rules up here because I haven't done that in the last few weekly reviews. So I want to go over the rules real quick. Now this is just for the RDR session. The other sessions do have slightly different rules, but I always trade the RDR session. So you'll have to kind of use these rules for the other sessions and kind of tweak them as you go. But let's go through this. The first rule, do not trade until after high impact news events, NFP, CPI, FOMC. So this week we had NFP on Friday, so I'll show you how that was. Only take trades between 11 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. So right here I have 11 to 1:30 highlighted using the Kraken silver bullet indicator. DR direction confirmed by 12:30 p.m. Okay, mark out ICT PD arrays before the 0.5 deviation, order blocks for value gaps. Entry priorities, order block over a fair value gap. So if there's two, I'm going to try and go with the order block if they're close. So that's why a lot of people say, hey, that's cherry picked. No, I'm going to go with the order block over the fair value gap. If two stacked PD arrays, stop loss must be above the top one. So no matter when we pick a trade, I take a trade, the stop has got to be over at least by 1 tick or 1 point over the PD array, right? So like, for example, if we mark this fair value gap right here, okay, we'll say that's a fair value gap because it is. My stop would have to be, really want it above here, but if it's an order block, it's got to be above the PD array, okay? So normal stop loss placement. Obviously, you want to have it above the first candle on a fair value gap, at least 1 tick above, 1 point above the order block, things like that. Must enter trade before 0.5 deviation. Okay. Entry risk 1 to 3. Maximum 5 handle stop loss. Move stop loss to break even plus 2 ticks at 5 handles and take partials at 60%. Trail stop loss based on ICT Concepts. Order block over swing highs, lows to let runners run. If 3 PD arrays fail, move stop to break even plus 2 ticks or no trade. If 3 opposing PD arrays are respected, move stop to break even plus 2 ticks or no trade. If no partials taken by 1:30 p.m., close the trade. And the reason I do that is because I trade the 2 to 3 p.m. silver bullet hour. So if first trade loses, second trade must be off order block and inside the DR range. Max 2 losses in any session. Okay, so that is the rules. You can pause the video if you want to write them down, or whatever. That's how you can do that. So let's move this over, and let's put some lipstick on this pig. Let's go over. This is Monday. So Monday, we have a DR confirmation. Remember, I can only trade in the gray area here. Okay, actually, let's hold on. So this dark gray background here is a new week opening gap. So I'm going to turn those off because I don't need those really on here for this. So I'm going to turn this off. This is the Kraken silver bullet indicator. So you can kind of see what we all have. PO3 time frame. We have macros on here. New day opening gap, new week opening gap, previous weekly high and lows, the sessions for liquidity, previous day high and low. We have the imbalance finder on here. We have other lines. We have silver bullet hours and Killzone shading. So a lot of stuff on this indicator. But anyway, that's not for this video. So this 11 to 1:30, the shaded area is where I can take a trade. We get a DR confirmation to the long side here, 0.5 standard deviation. I got to take a look for something below that. I look left. There was a fair value gap here. It is, pretty good, decent size, so I would take it in the middle. There's also a PD array right here, a fair value gap here. So I took it on the first one, need to be a lot below the first one. Get in, immediately get taken out. I lose 5 handles. I wait for a few minutes and it just keeps going down. It doesn't stop. There's no pullback or anything, so there's no reason to take another trade. I'm not just taking another trade because I lose and say, hey, here's an order block, take a trade. I need some kind of structure, especially when I lose one. I'm down 5 handles. I'm at least waiting to see if there's a confirmation of any kind to go long. And sure enough, we wait 3 minutes and we've already broken through. And so this is a false day. I lose 5 handles. That's Monday. Okay, this is Tuesday. We get a DR confirmation right here to go short. then we look at the gray box here when we can trade, and we see that there's a fair value gap here, but right above that is the order block. And in my rules, if you recall, if they're stacked, I'm going to take the top one, and I'm going to prefer an order block over a fair value gap. Problem is, this order block is like 7 or 8 handles big, right? And I can only take a 5 stop handle stop. So that means I got to go in consequent encroachment. So consequent encroachment is where I took my trade. That's right here. Is it cherry picked? No, I got to have it one handle above the order block, and that's where I'm at. This is an 8 handle order block, so 4 of it is inside, 1 handle's above. That's where my trade was. 5 handle stop at the most. That's it. Now this candle right here comes close. It doesn't go into over above the order block. It still respects it, but yeah, that one really I thought I was going to lose the trade. Regardless, it came down. We got 15 handles out of this, and we were out before the 2 o'clock hour. So there you go, 15 handles. So now we are -5 plus 15. We are plus 10 handles for the week so far. Wednesday, okay? Wednesday is a no trade setup day. We have 11 to 130 range. We finally get confirmation at 1150. Look left, there is a small fair value gap right here. That's the only thing we can trade, and it doesn't get traded into till 130, almost 130. And my rules, I have to take, if there's no partial by 130, I'm not taking a trade. So for me, there was no trade set up here. Okay, so no trade set up on Wednesday. So we're still plus 10. All right, so now let's go into Thursday. Thursday we got DR confirmation here at 10:35. Huge fair value gap here. With what is right above it, the order block. So when they're 2 stacked, I'm taking the top one, and I'm going to prefer order block over fair value gap. So price comes all the way up here. This is again a huge order block. It's not huge. It's like what, 5 handles. So again, we take the consequent encroachment. I need to have 5 handle stop loss at most. I should be above this candle, this line here, and I can't be. So I take it at consequent encroachment, go above. That's how it was. We take the trade right there. This one kind of, was in drawdown pretty good there, and then ended. We're aiming for 15. You don't get 15 handles here. So we took our partials at 9 handles, move our stop to break even, and then we got taken out right here at break even. That's just life. So this is 9 handle day right here, and a break even. So 9 handles plus break even. I'll move plus B just so it's on there so we can see it. So there you go. So I took the trade, took our partials 90%, moved our stop to break even. I'm sorry, at 9 handles, took our partial. Didn't get it. We were 2 handles away from our full TP. It came back up against us, took us out. That's just life. So now we're at 19 handles for the week, and that's Thursday. Friday, this was NFP right here. You have a 5-minute breaker, which is right here. Okay. This was the entry that we took on another video, but confirmation, DR confirmed right here, and the wicks right into it right before the 11 o'clock hour, and I can't take the trade. That would have been your entry had your rules were 10:30 to 11. So I didn't take this trade. I was already in it, a trade from silver bullet hour type things, but this would have been an entry, but this isn't based on my rules. It's not an entry for me. So now I'm in the gray here. This is in the 11 o'clock to 1:30 range. Here's a fair value gap. Never gets touched. Here's a fair value gap. It gets touched. Hey, I can't take a trade. Wrong. I can only take a trade before the 0.5 deviation. So it's got to be down here. This is between 0.5 and 1. So again, you could have entered here. If you didn't want to get trade by that rule, you've backtested it. You don't want to use it in your trading, don't. This is where you could have entered as well, and you could have taken it, for at least 15 handles. It goes up for, 50 handles here. So you could have easily got a winning trade here, but following my rules, there are no trades. 2 good trade setups, but not trade setups per my rules. So again, no trade setup for me. So this is the weekly review for October 2nd through October 6th using the Kraken DR IDR rules and ICT Concepts, and we are plus 19 handles for the week.